Welcome back to Digiburst, guys. We are back with another version 2 game. It's me on the right playing version 2 DM. I'm starting off just going into a rookie, going into a analog passing turn, nice and fresh. I like the passive play. I'm playing against the fish deck from Liberator. I forget what the top end is called. Digimon, it looks like, from the level 6. They'll just play the Evo in the back, go and play the rookie, and then Evo for a 2 cost in the back there. Nice passive play, getting the search and the lineup. I'm going to start going super aggressive because I want to source onto my analog. And I think if I can head out super early, then I can put a lot of pressure on and potentially prevent some play. So the analog tuck a source under. This will trigger the egg to go into the veggie for 1 cost, and I can go into the Vademon being reduced by 2, so I can swing with the Vademon. The Vademon also triggers to lose a source to bounce back a 4 cost or lower Digimon. That's how I got rid of that rookie there. I'll play the Gabu and then tuck a version 2 underneath it and grab that rookie so I can Evo the rookie out next turn. They'll go into the 5. Let's see if they can, try to remove some bodies into the 6 here. They haven't got a tamer to bring out, which was nice at least, from that lineup, because they already went into their 4. So the 5 will tuck under a source, stun a Digimon, and bottom deck another Digimon. So that's what they're going to do here. They're going to bottom deck the 3, and then we're going to start turn, unsuspend the Vademon. The Vademon is now stunned, so I can't suspend, and so I won't be getting that. I didn't trigger my analog youth. Maybe I decided not to because I didn't want to with my hand. Yeah. I also didn't see the value in it. Yeah, but maybe I should have kept doing that, because then I would have had a face down in the Invisimon, so I could start rebooting later. So yeah, didn't get that much value off the Invisimon because I couldn't swing, but it's still an alright piece here. Yeah, I should have tucked with the analog. I do a couple of misplays in this game, unfortunately, but this is why we play games and I record, so I can reflect on them and hopefully get better. It's all part of a learning experience. So we'll untap the Capitari, we're going to push out, we're going to use the analog youth to tuck under source into the Capitari. Suspend it, get a memory, draw a card. I'm on 7 cards there. Yep. We can trigger the egg to go into the Vademon for 1 cost less, so it's only 1 cost with all the evolution requirements. We're going to bounce that rookie and Digivolve. We can swing with the Invisi tuck back into the security. This makes the Vademon battle. The Vademon has jamming, so we're going to hit that tamer, and then into a second Invisi, we're going to remove that Digimon, flip over the source, and then delete whatever comes back. And then Invisi can swing there to take out that top source. And then we can make a 3rd Invisi here to set up the trap. Now this is such a good trap here, having double Invisi, and Invisi on the board to redirect, and the Vademon keeping out. This is why I should have analog youthed in the previous turn, because if I did, then the Vademon would have restood there. But going on to game 2 there, he just scoops it up. He didn't have the right pieces, so the early aggression was a good call. On game 2, he just plays the rookie. Interesting, he doesn't choose to Evo in the back, but I guess he doesn't have a good passive play there. He could have Evo in the back, then played the option if he didn't have the rookie, if he didn't have the tamer. It's all moving so fast here, but I just go build a line in the back, training, and then memory boost. They'll go rookie in the back. They're going to get rid of their rookie by swinging here, feeding me a memory boost. I do like that quite a bit. And now I'm quite set up if I can push out next turn. Into the 4 to play at the free tamer. Then he can try to do a passive play here by Evoing in the back or something. Yeah, that's what they're going to do, probably on 2 here. I can draw. We can push out here, try to remove the Digimon and the tamer if I have a Vademon in hand. We're going to pitch the boost. Unfortunately, we don't have the Vademon. We do have the Metal Mame. Metal Mame will not source strip because I don't have a Digimon to put under, unfortunately. But at least I can set up the trap into an Invisimon. So not the most optimal play. It would have been much better if I had the Vademon, but I really don't want to see an emblem in the security there, because I am going to be feeding him, because the Invisimon here has to swing in order to set up the trap. But feeding him the emblem is really harsh for me, because he's just going to get that rookie back, and he's got the delay for the future turn, so you can do a really hard push. Now let's see if I can do a passive turn here with probably the analog youth going on the field. Yep, that's it. And then restanding here. Putting him on 3 with these, got the memory setter there. Yeah, if I had the Vademon, I would have been in a much better position, but that's all good. Into the Marine Bull. Marine Bull is going to slot a source under with the effect. It can attack, and then using the Tamer, it can Digivolve, slot a source under, and then the source will trigger the option to evo up, reduced by 3. So the 5 is going to go into a 7, and then the 7 is going to activate to play a level 5, a 4, and a 3. This is just absolutely crazy. The 3 will trigger to add some cards to hand, and then the 4 will trigger to look at top 3, then slot under a source, I believe. He's just getting his effects right. Yes, those cards go to hand, and then he's picking what source. Oh, no, the 4 adds a card to hand as well. That's on playing when Digivolving effect, I believe. And then the 5 will trigger to slot under a source. So many effects just popping off right now. And then the other when Digivolving effect will trigger for the level 6 to place the source under, to restand and tuck away a Digimon. So the Metal Mame will go to the bottom deck, and then they're going to hit 1 security check. Hitting the Garurumon, they're going to gain a memory at the end of attack, and then play out the Psychomon. Crazy! It's just so much going on here. So I do get the Invisimon at least to Digivolve something, and then delete something that is 1 source or less. We go for the level 4, because if I delete the level 5, it's got Decode, and it'll just bring out the 4 again. I wanted to remove bodies, because he is threatening lethal right now. It's very dangerous. So we'll go into the rookie. We'll training here. We didn't activate the analog youth because we didn't have a DM on board, but we can do a nice play here with the Veggie and the analog. So the Veggie at end turn will put 3 sources underneath it that are version 2, and then Digivolve into a level 5 from hand or trash. This is Vademon. Vademon is reduced by 3, so it's a free evolution. Then I can trigger my analog boy to gain a memory, draw a card. This will keep turn. So now I can Digivolve and then bounce back a 4 cost or less Digimon Tamer. We're going to want to remove bodies because he is threatening lethal here. We can swing with the Vizzy, get rid of that flipped up security, and then into an analog youth. I've got an ace play in my hand set up if he doesn't remove it. I think I'd have the ace in hand anyway, but we'll see if he can do a big push here, because he is working with 3 memory here. Evoing into the 5, he can put a source under to draw a card, and then into the 6 here, this will stun something and remove a level 5. So this is a nice way to get rid of that Vademon and stun the Invisi. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They stun the Invisi, put back the Vademon, and then I lose that source there. But I do have double youth, and I do have a rookie pushing up, so I can crack back, potentially. We'll see what we can do here. So we can push out the Gizamon, go into the sort of source under with the analog youth. We're going to tap both to gain 2 memory and draw 2 cards. Remember that one analog can trigger, both analogs can trigger off the first analog putting a source under. So this is a nice way to manipulate your hand so you have more choice in what you want to tuck under. Into the Ariemon, I'm thinking about what I want to suspend, but we are going to put under a source. We're going to put under the one of the cards to suspend. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to Digivolve and stuff. So we'll suspend level 4 and set to 3. Into the Vademon, this is free because I got 4 sources underneath the Vademon that are face down. This will Digivolve something, then bounce the rookie. And then into the Black War Grey here. Now this is lethal if I am able to hit, because this will unsuspend 3 or 4 times. So suspending the 5 here, and we're going to get rid of the 4 insecurity in the sorceress when we attack with the Gizamon effect. They're going to ace me, Digivolve something, but we are going to get that check off. Hitting an emblem, emblem is a nightmare, absolutely crazy. I think that's the second one this time. The second one this game is just such a pain to get a free Digimon or Tamer and that delay sitting on board is just absolutely nasty. Invisimon coming back, at least Digivolving, removing a Digimon and getting that overflow is really good too, at least to remove some bodies. But the emblem was really just set up his play here. So they're going to keep in the back here so they can keep the counterplay to go into the 5 from the front here. Yeah, I guess the alternative... maybe I could have... I'm not sure if Veidmon is a... yeah, because the Invisimon should have flipped over on security. I'm not sure if the Veidmon was a optional effect or not. I gotta check back those effects. But if I didn't Digivolve the Veidmon, then with the Veidmon, then he wouldn't have had the ace play open, and it would have just been lethal. I didn't think about the ace too much. Maybe I should have thought about that. Yeah. But they're going to go into the level 7 here. Level 7 is going to spit out a bunch of bodies, and he's going to do a lot of removal here. That emblem was just absolutely crazy to allow him to get back into the game like this. So he's going to fetch the ace here and grab the 3 after spitting out a bunch of bodies with the search. The level 4 is going to put under a source, and then the level 5 is going to put under a source as well, I believe. No, maybe it doesn't have an on-play effect. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. And then the level 7 will put a source back under it to remove one of the Digimon here. They're going to gain a bunch of memory at end of attack, and they restand. They can do another swing here, hitting at Davis. Davis gets me a nice search. We're going to grab a blue and a green. But I'm pretty behind now that I've just got an Invisimon on board. And look at that, they got another Tamer insecurity there. It's just, man, they didn't want me to fight in this game here. So they're gonna put under a source with one of the effects. I think that's the end of attack of the level 7 effect, maybe. I'm not 100% familiar with this deck here. This is the first time I've actually played against this Bluefish deck, so apologies for being unfamiliar. But they do make something like a blocker and immune to battle. We're going to go on the Digimon, trading up. I am in a really bad position here because he's got a push out, he's got 3 bodies on board, he's got double Tamer and a Tamer coming out of security if I punch. So we go into the Veggie here. Veggie's going to do the trick to put 3 sources underneath it to go into the Veidmon end of turn. We'll draw. We're going to tap both analogs to keep turn, gain some memory. I've got 8 cards in hand, so I won't get the draw. I'm going to Digivolve the 4 and then tuck away a card to bounce 4 cost or less back to him. I'm going to bounce that standing guy. So we can swing with the Invisi here. Try to remove the Shellmon, but of course they can block or ace here. I know he has the ace, but yeah, he can block and be immune to battle. So now, what am I gonna do here? I've got another Vegiemon. Veggie's gonna go into. If I have a Veidmon, that would be really good. We've got enough sources in the trash, but I don't think I have another Veidmon because he did smartly bottom deck the Veidmon I wanted to go into with one of the previous effects. So we have to go in the Metal Mame for the cost. We're going to put a source underneath it, avoiding the version 2s. We're going to feed him a lot of memory, and we're going to remove that Marine Bullmon there. So they're on 6 memory now, and I think that's enough for them to clear up the game. I've got an ace play in hand, I think, with the double 5s. So if they can't remove the 5s, then at least I can try to ace them and prevent them from going from the game. They're going to swing with 5s, tap the Yao to go slot a source underneath it, I believe. And then when they slot a source underneath it, they can evo up for a reduced cost. Yep. Oh, they're also going to stun with the Metal C into the ace here. They'll draw. They're going to Digivolve something and then remove the Metal Mame, because Metal Mame is a 7 cost they can remove. So they're going to hit for 1 check and then gain a bunch of memory back. They live the check, fortunately, and then we're just going to scoop it up there because they removed my cards and they can just swing for game. So we're going to go into the game 3. Game 3, I start up. We're running short on time here. I think at this point we were 45 minutes into the game, so a couple of people behind us like putting some pressure on, like, oh, hurry up, we want to start the next round. Into the Vegiemon here after getting the Jade boost, we're starting a lineup. Rookie in the back. And then the 4 there. They got a nice passive play with the Tamer if they want to set that up. Otherwise, yeah, they're just going to go into the Yao there. I think we're still just waiting on some cards, so we're going to train up into the beta. And then just play the analog pass on 1. We want to draw some more cards and see some more cards in hand to try to build lineup. And my opponent's trying to do the same, they're going to play Yao. They don't want to kit him in the board because I could easily be removed from an Invisi or like a Metal Mame. So we're just going to train and then put an analog. Now I got 3 in my sources. 3 face down in my sources, so lots of reduction for the Veidmon. I'm just going to train up. We're waiting on the line and then just play the Veggie here. He's going to get some memory off the Tamers here. Pushing out. They'll go into the Metal Digimon. This is a really desperate play here. I think they just want to put some pressure on because I've got a really tall stack in the back. And then punching, they're going to feed me a meat. Love getting fed meat from security. And then into the 7 here, they're going to spit out a bunch of bodies. A 3, 4, 5. And then the 3, 4, 5 is going to get the effects off. So the 4 is going to be slot back under. They're going to get a draw card when something's slot under. And then they're just going to pass there. No, they got... Yeah, they do just pass there. They have an on-play for the thing to make something a blocker or an immune to battle. But I guess they do opt... I think they have to slot something under it in order to activate the effect. Triggering the analogs to draw cards, gain some memory. Oh, and they restand with the level 7 at the end of attack. So we're going to go into the Kabuteri, triggered off the egg, and then into the Veidmon for free. We didn't activate the Kabuteri to strip out because we want to do a little bit of manipulation here. Into the Invisi. Invisi is going to, yep, Digivolve by 1, so it becomes a 2, and then bottom deck, then delete. And there's another emblem in security. It's just, oh man, that's like the 3rd emblem being hit this game. Yeah, I know he's running, he told me later that he's running 4 emblem, but like, man, this emblem just feeds him so much. So he gets back his rookie, gets the emblem on board, and now I've got this, I've set up the trap for the Invisi, and then we're going to go into the Metal Mame to remove the rookie there, at least. He's going to go to his 3 with his Tamers because he's got some guys on board. At least I was able to choke him on 1 with that play. So they're going to play the 3. And then on play, I think... Oh, they're going to evo into the 5 with the cheating level 5 to go into the 6 again. This is the 2nd ace play to Digivolve something, then bounce something. So they're going to bottom deck the Metal Mame and then opt not to Digivolve the Veidmon, I think. Interesting play. And then into the 7, they're going to play out a bunch of bodies. The on play for the 3 is going to slot under the 7 to remove the... that's why, because I wanted to remove it rather than Digivolve. They wanted to, yeah, not put the thing on board there. But into the Invisi here, we're going to Digivolve their... man. We're going to Digivolve the 7, overflow, gain a bunch of memory. We're on 10 memory here, but seeing the Yao insecurity is just nasty because I'm not going to be able to go for game here. I don't have the pieces on board, even though I've got 10 memory. Into the Kabuteri, we're going to grab that search. But like if I hit security, I'm just feeding him stuff. I'm feeding him resources. It's just nasty how the security is laid out. Into the Kabuteri, we're going to suspend something and then tap the analogs, gain some memory, draw some cards. At least now I can start punching over some stuff. Into the Metal Mame, we're going to put under a source to bottom deck probably the 3. Yep, get rid of that 3. And then we can probably punch with the Invisi to get rid of the 4. Yep, get rid of that 4. Try to clear board as much as possible. We don't want to hit the Yao because we don't want to feed him that. And now we're doing just some passive plays into the meat to go into the... and then Veggie here will into the Veidmon, hopefully in the hand. Yes, to remove one of those Tamers. So I've choked him on 1. only has one Tamer and one Digimon coming out of security. What can he possibly do with this? So gains 1 memory into the 4 being cheapened by 1 through the rookie. He's going to get that search with the 4, grabbing a Marine Bull. From here, he can go into the Marine Bull for the 3 cost. Marine Bull is going to slot a Source under, and then this will trigger the Tamer to Digivolve up into the 7, reduced by 1. Man, he's going to feed me a lot of memory, but he's going to do a really big board wipe here. So it's reduced by 1, playing out a 3-4-5, absolutely crazy. 3-4-5 is going to get the search from the 4, look at top 3, grab a Marine Bull. Thinking about what he wants to do, yeah, we'll get the Marine Bull. And then the 5 will trigger to slot a Source under, and then 3 will trigger to slot under a Digimon to make it a blocker and immune to battle. And then end of turn for the 7 will remove the Metal Mame there. So we've got a Digimon coming out. We're going to activate the analog. We've got a lot of memory to work with here, and we've got the Blackball Grey in hand. We can do a really strong Blackball Grey push here. We're going to slot under a lot of sources into the Vaidmon. Gain a memory, draw a card with analog, and then we're just going to slot under another source here to gain a memory, draw a card. So the only issue here is if he threatens with a if he threatens a ace here with that Marine Bull. So I trigger the meat. Now, misplay here. I shouldn't have used the Garurumon to trip out a source, because my idea was to hit with the Vaidmon, Digivolve, and then start going to Blackball Grey so that I wouldn't have that issue. Now I'm all messed up because I got to remove that level 5 there to avoid the ace play. So now I'm searching for like a Metal Mamemon to remove that bull. I think what messed me up is because I didn't actually trigger the Garurumon properly, because I should have put under a source. My opponent said, oh, you have to put a source under that to activate the meat. So when I did that after drawing, I got all messed up in my thoughts, and I thought I was also activating the Garurumon, so that all got me messed up. So we'll go into the Invisimon because that's a safer play. We're going to hit in that Tamer, unfortunately, and then the Vaidmon is going to hit him another emblem. The 4th emblem for the game is... they really did not want me in the game here. So they've got the rookie here. They've got 2 Tamers and they've got an emblem. We have to go the Invisi, remove the rookie there, because otherwise he's going to do a really nasty play. We're going to give him the 3 memory because he's got the memory setter. He's got no Digimon on board. He's got the 2 Digimon. He's got the emblem. So yeah, really unfortunate misplay that I did on my end to go into the Blackball Grey, because Blackball Grey would have absolutely ruined him. Let's see what he can do here. So he'll play the 3. He's got a lot of cards in hand, so he's got everything he's working with here. The 3 reduces the Evo cost by 1, so it goes into the 4 for the 1 cost keeping turn, into slotting a source under to go into the Marine Bull. Marine Bull is going to activate to put under a source, and then he can trigger the Tamer, and then the Tamer will go into the 6, putting a source under. This will stun the Invisimon and then bounce the Vaidmon. And then this will then trigger the emblem for a 4 cost reduced by 3, so it's 1 cost, into the 7, spit out a bunch of bodies, and then do some really frustrating things again. So split out 4, 5, 7 of 3, 4, 5. The 4 is going to slot a source under, and then be played out. Yeah, the 4 is going to slot a source under the 5. The 3, it makes a bunch of blockers. Honestly, I'm not too sure what all the effects fall off. But yeah, we're going to remove the rookie, and then the Invisi will come out of security and turn. Now another misplay here. So he's got 2 blockers. We decided to de-digivolve the thing by 1 because I don't want him to ace me. And then we're going to restand the Invisi. He's got 1 blocker. Now we got a lot of memory. We restart, we unsuspend. We got 3 Invisis on board. I immediately forget that is a blocker, and I start swinging because like at this point we are 1 hour and 10 minutes through the game. I am completely exhausted and I just start forgetting things so much. This is also after a work day, so I've been awake for like since 5 a.m. after a gym. So yeah, from here everyone around us is frustrated. They want to start the next round, and I've got no way to win now because I've only got 1 attack. My opponent doesn't have the fuel to win on the next turn, so I'm gonna just spoil it for the rest of the game. This does end with a draw. We're just gonna pack it up here. What I should have did was bring out the Invisi, de-digivolve the 7 into a 5, remove the 7 so we don't have that blocker there. They've got 1 blocker that is a 5. Play Evo up into a Veidmon Evo, de-digivolve, bounce the digivolve the 5 into a 3, the 3 bounce to hand, and then I start swinging with the Invisi. That would have been game. So yeah, some major misplays on my end, but it all comes down to exhaustion and that time pressure. But hopefully I can learn from it, and so can you. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't want this to play out and bore you with the fact that it's a draw. So I will have a profile with the version 2 coming out on my channel. Feel free to subscribe so you can get a notification of that if you ding the bell, I guess. And check out the rest of the games. I have some better games on the channel that shows off the power of my decks and some future decks. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.